Hey everybody, it's Tony George from Doc Sports. That guy right there is Nick Menken, Virginia Tech baseball player. Now you got a new head coach, James Franklin, in town. Win every game that doesn't matter, and when you get the big ones, you're going to lose them. The saga continues. Follows you to Blacksburg now. There you go, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Obviously, we got James Franklin. You know what? You could say whatever you want, but that is a home run hire for my Hokies there. He's going to change the program, get us back to 2016 when we were competitive in that ACC tournament or ACC title. We fell short against Clemson, so it's very good to get James Franklin there back in. I'm excited. I haven't been back to Blacksburg since I graduated, Tony, and now I have an excuse to go back here the next couple of years with James Franklin. I'm excited about this football team.
I forgot what year it was. It's been 15 years ago. My Huskers were playing Virginia Tech out there. Bo Pelini was coaching, so it's been a while. But I'd never been to Blacksburg, so we went out, a bunch of us. I was living in Kansas City at the time, but right before I moved to Vegas. But we went out because I wanted to see what it was all about. Now, they weren't doing the Inner Sandman yet but it was, that is a snake pit to play in. And we were a 3-point favorite and got beat at the buzzer by 3. And I think they were a top 25 team. It was long enough to go that Frank Beamer was still coaching there. But maybe it was when Solich was coaching even. It's been a while. But I went out there to experience Blacksburg. And when they're good, nobody wants to go in there and play them. I can tell you that right now. And I would love to go out and see the Inner Sandman again. And so you can line up a trip with all your prop sales, all these sales you're getting in props. Save a little money back. You fly Tony out there to meet you.
There we go. Let's do it.
There you go. We're talking NFL props, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to start out the show. The Baltimore Ravens are taking on the New York Jets in a must-win game. Obviously, every game, like Kansas City, these boys right here, every game's a must-win game if you want to sniff the postseason. Probably one of those two I just mentioned aren't going to make it. But nonetheless, when you're in a must-win game, and you're a 13.5-point favorite, looks easy. It's never easy. Getting wins on the road or anywhere in the NFL is difficult. I don't care who you're playing, the Saints, Titans, any of them. But what do you do in a big game? What do you want to do? You want to reduce liability. How do you reduce liability? You don't throw the ball over the place. You run it. Derrick Henry, over 17.5 carries in this game. He's had 18 or more carries the last 5 games. What are you going to do in this game against a weak run defense where the best defensive lineman was traded to the Cowboys, I might add? You feed the big dog. Derrick Henry's going to eat. He's going to have a lot of yards in this game. Jackson's still a little banged up, so don't expect him to have any designed run plays. What do you do to win this game? You pound the rock. Give me Derrick Henry over 17.5 carries. That's around minus 120, 125. Nick, what do you got?
Let's stay at the running back position here, Tony. And I'm looking at the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. Obviously, Lions coming off a bad loss. They scored 9 points there against the Eagles. But the Eagles, you could say, their defense is legitimate. Yes, they have questions on that offensive side, but 16-9, these Lions lost. Now they come back home. And I'm looking at the running back here, Gibbs, over 75.5 rushing yards in this one last week against the Eagles. He only had 39 yards in that game on, I believe it was 12 carries. They've only ran the ball for a total of 74 yards against that Eagles defense here. I think they get back to the basics against this awful defensive front in the Giants, who are 31st in the rushing attack here. They're giving up 150 yards just about there on the defensive side on the ground. I'm taking Gibbs here. I think he has an explosive game. They get back to the basics, get the run game going here in Detroit, opening up that play action for Jared Goff. So I love his over here. Gibbs, he only had 39 last week. I think he easily clears 75.5 rushing yards this week, Tony.
I think it's interesting that with the exodus of Ben Johnson as their offensive coordinator, how far away they've gotten from running with Montgomery and Gibbs.
Yep.
I mean, you're seeing that in the results of their games. They're not playing smart football offensively. You're putting too much on Jared Goff's shoulders. Does he have talented wide receivers? Damn right he does. But you've got talented running backs and you're not utilizing them. And what's killing them is, well, their defense sucks. How many 3-and-outs they have against the Eagle? I mean, you can't put it on Goff's shoulders to make big plays down the field. You're right. 100% agree. Back to basics. And that's a lot of what the Lions' problem is. And I know Lenny, our producer's in the background chomping at the bit, but it's absolutely true. That's why you are where you are. You have some very poor offensive game planning for the Lions, Nick. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, 100%. They're trying to get away from, just like I said, the basics, their run game. They got two dynamic running backs. Montgomery, too, you look at his yards per game, it is not nearly as close to what he was doing last year. So they have to get back to ground and pound here for the play action that Jared Goff succeeds in down the field there. You have to get back to the basics, start grounding and pounding like Dan Campbell coaches here. Physicality, I think they bring that here against the Giants this week.
There you go, folks. Don't forget to get over to DocSports.com. You see the link up there, free $60. There's a link in the description below the video, or there's a tab on the website, DocSports.com. It says free 60. We'll park it in anybody's that's new into an account. It comes with a profit guarantee, zero hassles, zero obligation. Put it towards any package. If you get an NFL prop package for me and Nick, that's a combined $50 investment. You're going to get 8 or 9 picks in those packages combined, and you still have money left over because prop cards are less than going through the drive-thru and get 2 McRib dinners at McDonald's. That's right. The McRib is out. It's been out for a week, and I've already had 5 of them. FYI. Get your ass to McDonald's, okay? The McRib is delicious. It's got 75 ingredients. Take 75 times 5, and that's how many foreign ingredients I've had in my body over the last 7 days. I'm just fine, by the way. Speaking of just fine, that would give you a description of the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel, definitely going to be up for Coach of the Year. Now, I know the schedule that New England has played this year has been light. But New England's done exactly what they're supposed to do in those games. Put up a bunch of points and beat teams they're supposed to beat. And that's exactly what they're doing, including the Buffalo Bills, which after Thursday night, and then a trip to Miami for Buffalo a couple weeks ago, that really ain't that big of a deal. I said this beginning of the season, I thought Buffalo was overrated. That being said, the New England Patriots get to go on the road and take on another weak sister. We're going with the team prop. Team total over 29.5 points, minus 115 for New England. Cincinnati, how bad is Cincinnati? They've given up 27 points or more in 9 straight games. How about 30 or more in their last 4? That is unbelievably bad. And in this 8-game win streak that New England's played, and they played hell of a lot better defenses than Cincinnati, they scored 23 or more in every one of those 8 wins. Yeah, they're going to have 30-some this game. Team prop, New England over 29.5 points, minus $1.15. Nick, talk to me.
Yeah, this one's going to surprise a lot of people, but I'm looking at the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cleveland Browns here. And we are going with the rookie, the quarterback, Shedeur Sanders here, over 159.5 passing yards.
Wow.
Let me say that again. Over 159.5 passing yards. That is his over-under. It's sitting at a minus 110. And this week, yes, you could look at last week. He got thrown into the wolves here, folks. He got thrown in. He didn't have any reps with the first string. It was his first time running routes here and going back in the quarterback position with these first string receivers. Now you get a full week of preparation here. And this kid, I don't care what you say about him, he's a gamer, and he is going to step up to the occasion. Everybody is doubting him here. I think he has a big game for the Cleveland Browns. The defense is going to take care of this Las Vegas Raiders team, but I think they air it out, especially with Judy as one of your wide receivers as a young rookie. Yeah. Go to him, my man, and I think he does. I think he gets over this line. You're an NFL quarterback. I get it. You're a rookie, but this kid's a gamer, and anytime he's at quarterback, 159.5 yards, folks, I'm taking the over all day on the rookie here with Sanders. What do you think, Tony? It's so low.
First of all, what in the F is Las Vegas doing laying points to anybody? You got the better team getting points.
Defense.
I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, stranger things have happened, but the last two times I went to the Raiders. I went to the Raiders and Chiefs game in Kansas City. Kansas City had more first downs than the Raiders had offensive plays. And Kansas City, whose defense is it's good, not great, but it's good. It's a good defense. They held the Raiders to 99 yards. An NFL game. I mean, yeah, Sanders, when you get some reps with the first team, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
And you can throw against – you saw what Dallas did. You know, I mean, they were just wide open receivers. I mean, unbelievable. I agree. And it's a tricky prop, but he may surprise some people. Let's go. Speaking of these boys, we got us a dumpster fire at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday. We got to take on an 8-2 Colts team in a must-win game. But let's look at the Indianapolis side.
Ooh.
Alex Pierce, wide receiver. His yardage total in this game is 55.5 yards. Now, this guy has had 84, 115, 69, and 98 in his last 4 games. Now, what recipe works against Kansas City running the football? Which is exactly why Kansas City's 5-5, because they can't run the football. They haven't been able to run the football all year long. You can't run the football, you can't win games. I.e., we'll just revert back to Nick's first pick. Detroit's not winning games because they're not running the football. You don't have 70, 80, 90 yards running the football in an NFL game. It's very tough to win them. They know that. Jonathan Taylor, one of the best backs in the league, they're going to run him, but what's that going to do? That's going to open up play-action passing. He's had 69-plus yards in 4 straight games, and I tell you what, this guy is one of the league's biggest deep threats out there. Nobody's paying attention to this cat. His long receptions, 37, 36, 50, and 48, all in his last 4 games. His long reception is 25.5 here. Kansas City's corners aren't that good, and they're going to be playing zone all day long so they can stack up against the run. Give me Alex Pierce over 55.5 yards. That's around 120. That's a weak line. 125, that's a weak line. He's going to have it. Get on him. Yeah, I like he's 6-1 his last 7 games to this over. You know, you set up the run, you run the ball effectively, it sets up the pass. Pierce wide open. Play action passing. I don't know about that game, Nick. A lot of people love Kansas City. I haven't seen anything out of them to love them.
I loved Kansas City last week, Tony, and your boys let me down big time.
Yeah, I had him. I had him in his premium play.
Yeah, me too.
Didn't see that coming. Nonetheless, that's my third and final pick. Nick, you got one more.
Yeah, let's roll out the red carpet here in Los Angeles for Sunday Night Football. Baker Mayfield. Now I'm looking at his over 1.5 touchdowns at a plus 110 line. let's not forget here, folks, this is where Baker Mayfield revived his career. If you forgot about it, he went to the Los Angeles Rams and he rejuvenated his career. That solidified himself here in Tampa Bay as the quarterback. But he knows Sean McVay. He's familiar with this arena. He's going to be jacked up, especially on Sunday Night Football here. I think he has a huge game back with his old team, and I think he gives it to Sean McVay. So I think he has a massive game, go over his 1.5 touchdowns here. And I like the Buccaneers in this game, Tony. Tell me I'm crazy for that. Baker show, baby. Roll the red carpet out.
Yeah. It's a tough spot for LA, blowing everything out of the tank last week to try and beat Seattle in a big football game. You know, and Seattle gave them a lot of turnovers, which is why they won that game. They didn't put up a lot of points. Baker's going to keep it close. Definitely, you better have Tampa Bay in a teaser.
Yeah.
You better have them in a teaser, too. Get them
I'm sprinkling some pizza money.
We'll have our
pizza on the money line. Plus 260. Baker show Sunday night, folks.
Big set of balls from the big set of balls from the Virginia Tech Hokie there, ladies and gentlemen.
Feeling good this week, Tony.
Virginia
What could I
Tech
say?
Hokie and this Nebraska. There you go. And the Nebraska Cornhusker over at DocSports.com. Don't forget that free $60. Link in the description below. Tab on the website. We'll park $60 in a new account. Comes with a profit guarantee. I mean, you're here for free shit. We're giving you free shit. Of course, it's not shit. You know what? It's good stuff. Go get some prop cards on Sunday. They'll be up at 8:30 Pacific in the morning, locked and loaded. DocSports.com. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.